So here we are again talking about the work that happens beyond the workshops. And when you have a situation where a manager is accused of discrimination or racial bias, you really have to look at some of the scenarios. And I think this one can be resolved pretty simply, but I would love to hear maybe people who are in retail chime in here, because I don't see why we wouldn't be able to rotate assignments when people are in working in retail. I know when I worked at Brookstone, which is a now defunct and bankrupt organization, which no longer exists, that was what we did. We rotated. We rotated between cashier, between greeting at the door, between doing the cleanup, between customer service and helping customers find items, between being in the back and having to stock items. And so I don't see why that couldn't be a really simple way to resolve this situation without having to accuse anyone of racial bias and helping people get a good sense of all of the different roles within the store. At that point, once that's been done for maybe 6 months or so, there could be a meeting where the manager talks to those employees to say, well, which did you enjoy better? What, they also have the opportunity to observe and use a rubric, right? Some sort of measurement that helps to see each person in those roles and actually measure their performance in those roles, which is then going to be that's actual data that they can use to say, hey, you performed really well in this role, but not that role. And also for the employee to be able to give feedback to say, I really enjoyed that role versus this role. And then they can have a conversation about roles moving forward. So that would be my recommendation, but I would love to hear what others have to say.